Hello everyone and welcome. This is Christine with Pattern Crafts, and today I will be using collection 4 from the Scrapping for Less June 2020 Flavor of the Month card kit, and I will be making a Slimline shaker card. So I have my frame all die cut out. I have also die cut the pattern paper to fit the different windows that I want to use of my sequins. These little extra pieces from the frame I'll put aside. I'll use in a different project at another time. And I'll definitely be using the enamel dots, but I'm not so sure about the twine. So the first thing I do, like I usually do when I'm making a shaker card, is add my acetate to my frame. Now, that probably isn't the first thing you should do when you're trying to put pattern paper into particular windows. So when we get to that part of the card, if you don't already know why I shouldn't have done this, you will know then. So I'm going to go ahead and glue my acetate to my frame and put that aside to dry. Now I'm going to go ahead and stamp and color the slide from the stamp set in this collection. I'm just doing some very basic, simple coloring. I'm bringing in 2 colors of red and 2 colors of green for this slide. So I'm just laying down R27 for the entire ladder, and then I'm bringing in R59 to add in some shadows right underneath the slide and kind of where the ladder pieces hit on the other side as well. Then I'm bringing in it's GY17. And I'm laying that down over the entire slide, and then I'm bringing in some G28. And I'm just kind of where the slide pieces would meet, adding in the darker green. It was kind of a lot darker, so then I just brought back my GY17 and blended that back out a little bit. This image is super easy to fussy cut. For those of you who have watched any of my videos, you know I really dislike fussy cutting, but this image was super easy, and it wasn't that bad. So once I color that out, or cut that out, I'm just using the 100 Copic marker, just adding black all around the edges. It kind of gives it a more polished look, and it also helps cover up any of the imperfections when you fussy cut. Then I just added a little N1 between the ladder because the paper was just super white and I didn't want it to be. Next up, I need to get a card base. I have not made many slimline cards, and I'm not sure exactly what the dimensions need to be for the card base. So in the past, when I've made slimline cards, I've made them as to fit my images. So usually I have my panel done, and then I just like this, and then I go ahead and make my card base. So I use a little pencil tick mark like where I want my frame to, because I'm going to use the card base as a mat. So I used my little pencil to trim that out, and then I used the pencil mark where I wanted it to folded it, and then trim the excess off. I'm sure there's an easier way to do it, but that's how I do it. Now, same here. I should have put my acetate on after I added these pieces because it was a little bit harder to put those on. If I would have just had the acetate not glued, I could have just popped them in the window piece, adhered them well, and moved on, but I did not do that. So I had to lay the frame on the card base and kind of tuck them in underneath. They just have a little piece of tape runner right now holding them. In a few minutes, well, not literally a few minutes, but in a moment you'll see I grab some liquid glue and kind of squirt it underneath so that I can glue them a little bit better onto the card base. Now I'm adding my foam adhesive. I'm only adding 1 layer. I'm not a big fan of this foam adhesive. I loved it for a long time, but they have changed how they produce it. It's not the same foam adhesive as previous. I'm not exactly sure why they felt the need to change it, but they did. It's super hard to cut. These scissors I only use for trimming it because it's so sticky. I would have liked to have been able to just trim an entire long strip for each side and the top and the bottom, which I would have been able to do with my old roll, but I can't do that with this new roll, so I kind of have to put all these little pieces on there. But I bought it. It's there. I probably won't buy it again. I'll have to look for something else. But I digress. Let's move on with the card. So now that I've stuck some liquid glue underneath these little pieces, I'm putting the sequins from the kit in the top and the bottom because that's the two areas that I'm going to have my shaker bits. I'm not putting shaker bits in the middle. Now I'm going to go ahead and take off the backing to all of this foam adhesive, and I'm going to stand up over the top of it and try my absolute best to get this down correctly. And I'm pretty excited because I think I did a pretty good job making sure that all lined up. Like, I definitely sighed a big sigh of relief when it was stuck down and I looked at it and it was exactly where it needed to be. So anyway, just finishing off by adding the slide there to the middle and these enamel dots all over the card. I have tons of enamel dots and I need to use them, and this card can definitely hold them all. So this is my project for today. Thank you so very much for watching this video. If you liked this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. If you'd like to see more cards made by me, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But until next time, everyone, have a great day. Bye.